Hello, ladies. Happy Friday. First of all, I know I might look a little bit swollen here today. I'm actually getting some dental work done. I had a hidden infection in my jaw. And actually, this could be something that could be going on for you. I'd had it for about 10 years and didn't know about it. It was causing all sorts of symptoms. It was from a wisdom tooth that I had removed like 20 years ago, and it got infected and is really impacting my immune system and my ability to heal. So just ignore the little puffy side right here. It's about a 12-week process. I will keep you posted. But today I want to talk about a really interesting topic that comes up for a lot of the women that I speak with and for myself as well when I was journeying through my own anxiety, which is when your anxiety doesn't have a trigger. So, there are often two types of anxiety: those where something stressful happens and we're like, oh my goodness, or we're about to do something stressful. And so we get a lot of worry and anxiety and ruminating thoughts over it. And so this type of anxiety, it's really, really obvious as to what the anxiety is for. Every time I go out in public, I get a panic attack, or every time, I think about socializing, I really, really stress out. And so it can be really clear as to what's triggering us. But what happens when the trigger's not obvious? When any sort of little stress seems to create a huge anxiety response that seems out of proportion, or when there's no stressor that's obvious at all, and you wake up in the morning or you spend your whole day in this anxious state and you're always, always anxious. And so this can be incredibly frustrating to wake up in the morning and, wake up already with anxiety and you haven't even done anything, or to wake up in the middle of the night with a full-blown panic attack for no obvious trigger. And so if you're anything like me, this is something that I ensued where, I would have anxiety walking through the forest and I was like, what? Like, nothing is stressful for me right now. And yet my body is experiencing an anxiety attack like there's a bear hiding in the woods. So this can be so frustrating because if you don't know what the trigger is, then a lot of the mindset strategies to the anxiety doesn't work. You can't reframe your thinking around a situation that you're not stressful about, right? You can deep breathe, but it doesn't necessarily tell you why you are having this crazy feeling of anxiety in the first place. So if this is something that you're experiencing, if you have this anxiety that has no obvious trigger, just type me below, whether you're watching it now with me or whether you're watching the replay of this, and let us know that we're not alone in this experience. And so there are many reasons why this type of anxiety can exist for you. And one of the root causes is often around the nervous system. And so this is actually what my entire 12-week program is all about. It's all about resetting your nervous system from a lot of different strategies. And one of the things that we go into is the brain to gut connection. And specifically, we do a deeper dive into the vagal nerve. And so this isn't something I've talked about before in a video, but it is something that I go in depth in my program. And what's interesting is the vagal nerve is responsible for activating our rest and digest and our parasympathetic calm system. So if the brain is not activating the vagal nerve, if there is damage there for whatever reason, then it means it's going to be a struggle for your system to actually calm down. And so all of the strategies you're doing, well, they kind of help to calm the system down. They aren't getting to the root cause of why your vagal nerve isn't activating in the first place. And so this can often be the case for people who are experiencing that ongoing anxiety for no apparent reason. The vagal nerve is not being turned on. So one of the really cool strategies that you can do to test this is what you can do is actually test your gag reflex. And so this can be done by putting your finger down your throat or your toothbrush and seeing if you have a gag reflex. And you actually might be surprised. If you actually don't have a very strong gag reflex, then this is a good indication that the strength of your vagal nerve is poor. It's kind of like a muscle, right? And so we need to be practicing with this muscle. And so if you've lived a long time in chronic anxiety, then guess what? That muscle is going to be very, very weak. And so one of the ways that you can address this, you're going to love this one, is to sing loudly in the shower. And what that's going to be doing is it's actually going to be activating your vagal nerve on a regular basis. This is not a one-time thing. And it's going to be reminding your body that it's there. And then that vagal nerve is going to put you back into that calm state. So remember, if this is you, if this is something you're struggling with and you're going to try this technique out, just type me below. Now, if this has you curious about more strategies that you may not have heard of to really calm your nervous system down and get to root causes of anxiety, you may be interested in learning more about my 12-week program called the Holistic Anxiety Fix that's going to guide you through tons of different techniques to get to the root cause and really calm the nervous system down. And you can just privately message me. Thanks very much, ladies, and I will see you tomorrow.